we go. I think we're good. Let me confirm on the page. Make sure we're good. You know, hey.
Hello.
I'm accepting compliments for my attire this evening.
You got dressed up for
shorts. I can dress the part every once in a while.
He does own a tie.
Yes.
He does own a tie.
Yeah.
You actually wear a tie more often, I think, than Pastor Jeff.
Yeah, I think I do. It's kind of my default. Once it starts to get, so my official rule of thumb is once it gets a little warmer and it's like plus 90 every Sunday, I'm like, I'm doing a polo shirt. So kind of, sort of sometimes when we're Labor Day, but then I felt like just last Sunday, I was just like, well, I was dressed up in like 3 weeks, and I was like, just.
But you need to
dress
shave.
up.
You need to shave.
I didn't shave. Yeah.
Promo for the worship this weekend. Vicar Micah.
Oh.
Shaved.
He's got a new look.
Yeah, new look.
Got a new look. Gotta watch the service.
Yep, you gotta tune in.
All the way to the end.
Yeah. Just checking, making sure everything's working here. Oh yeah, looks like it. Oh, I can hear us, so that's good.
All right,
that's good.
We're on the World Wide Webs?
Yes,
The
on the
interwebs.
internets.
All right.
We are going to keep this one a little bit brief, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that, about why we're going to keep today's live session brief a little bit later. But if you do have comments or questions or anything like that, we encourage you to get those in, and we can hopefully get to them before we sign off tonight. So if you do have questions or comments, put them in there now, so that we can get to them a little bit later. But I think we're going to start off with Daniel sharing a little bit about VBS, Vacation Bible School, and the new way that we're doing it this summer.
Very, very cool stuff happening. I think we've tried to talk a lot in here that though we sit up here as staff people, we have an incredible congregation, we have incredible lay people, we have incredible servants at our church that have just God-given gifts and abilities that they bless their church with and bless others with. And so a huge shout out, Diane Miller, Larry Jost. We've had several high school youth, Naomi on staff here, as well as several children. I think Pastor Bobby, your children have been a part of it. And so to put together VBS, what we had to do is take our weekly in-house, 200 plus youth, children, youth leaders, adults, parents coming in and out of the buildings, volunteers. That just is wasn't going to be possible during COVID. VBS was scheduled for last week, the second full week in June, and so we made a pivot. The curriculum we were using, they allowed us to publish some things and use it online and make it a digital resource. And so if you would come up church today, the youth room has been transformed into VBS Central. It looks like a train station because of the Rocky Mountain Railroad theme that we have for it. And so, like I said, Diane and Larry basically turned it into a production studio, and they created our own tailored to us VBS TV show. And so what we've been able to do is email that content out to families, those that have pre-registered. They're also, a lot of you are watching obviously through, all of you are watching through our Love Sent YouTube channel. The videos are posted up there, and so what we've got is videos in a few different parts. So we've got like our openings with our songs, our closings with the drama and stuff that Diane does. We have our story time. Shout out to Tim Wilkinson. That guy's funny. That guy is funny. He's great. Him, Naomi, Vicar Micah is in some of the videos as well. They do a great job acting out these Bible stories. We have the craft time. We have the games, and so we've got these elements on there that you can watch in one sitting, or you can watch, one day. Instead of doing the 5 days in a row like we typically do VBS, we're releasing kind of 1 day a week, if you will, if that makes sense. And you can watch those as you, like I said, at your leisure. But maybe you're watching tonight, or you're watching this later after this post, and you're going, "Gosh, I missed it. Everything going on." Maybe the end of the school year, whatever. I didn't get my kids signed up. I actually signed my kids up last week. I dropped the ball and didn't get the first email because so I remedied that.
So what if I want to sign up, or I have a neighbor kid that wants to sign up? What do I do?
That's really a heart with our heart. Normally 60% of the people that attend are members. So yeah, what do you do? What do you do? And so I've got the notes here from Naomi. She said we're in week 2, so we still got 3 weeks to go. You can go back and watch the other videos. You can do a couple different things. You could share the YouTube links with people. If you're getting the emails, you could forward those along to somebody. If you're not getting those emails, send an email to Naomi. I'm going to put her email in the chat here in just a second, but it's naomi.moon@cmstl.org. And so a couple different ways you can do that. We handed out craft bags. You can work with Naomi to get a time to come up here. We've had some drop-offs for those. I know several that have signed up didn't get their bags yet. And so Naomi, as much as she wants to have 50 leftover VBS bags for herself, she would like to give those to people and give those out with the crafts. And I believe this week too, we're working to get the digital download of the songs. I know a lot of families like listening to the songs in the car, at home, maybe more than the parents want to listen to the songs, but the kids I know do really love listening to the songs. And so yeah, again, Christ Memorial YouTube page, Love Sent page, and we're continuing to work with families to get the word out. But now's a good time to think about, thank you Pastor Jeff, to say, gosh, who's the neighbor kid? Who's the kid on the gymnastics team, squad, whatever the technical term is there? Who's the love sent person that maybe God's placed in our life that we could share this to? And it's just a great, easy way to share these videos with, and I think it'd be a great way to get the message of the gospel out to people.
Cool.
What'd I leave out? Anything?
Yeah,
It was great.
Shout out
to all the
Yeah,
people.
no, it's awesome.
It's a team effort. A lot of people putting in a lot of hard work, and
A drastic pivot, to make an adjustment like this. Very cool.
but we're still doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of doing things new and different, we had in-person worship for the first time last weekend, starting Saturday night at 5, and then 8, 9, 10, 11 here at Christ Memorial, and 10:30 at Reliant. Our first time to gather together in any corporate capacity for, about 3 months?
3 months.
Yeah, right about 3 months. Anyway, it was awesome. It was beautiful. The guy who never cries, the guy who got ridiculed for not crying at his wedding. I kind of got choked up at the end of communion at Reliant. We had a song that we played because we did pre-recorded music that we were letting play out, and I was just turned facing the altar looking at the cross, and I kind of got choked up because I was like, this is powerful, this is good.
I'm not crying.
I'm not crying, you're crying. Like I got dust in my eye, but I admit I got choked up, and it was it was a powerful time to be back. If you were able to join us, awesome, I'm glad. Thank you for coming. If you weren't able to join us, whether it's because you're not quite comfortable, ready to be back together, or you've got some pre-existing health conditions or whatever, that's okay. We support you in that. That's why we're continuing to do our online worship services. Pastor Jeff and I just got done recording the service for this upcoming weekend, so we can continue to encourage you to watch those. That's why we're still putting them out there, because we know not everyone is quite ready to come back. But if you were able to join us, thanks for joining us. We're doing it again this upcoming weekend, so the 20th and the 21st. Same times here at Christ Memorial, 5 o'clock on Saturday, the 20th, then 8, 9, 10, and 11. You can sign up for a slot. We're still asking you to RSVP, so we have an idea of how many folks are looking to come for each service. We're capping it at 100. You can go to our website, cmstl.org, and you can pre-register or RSVP for that. You can also go to Reliant. Reliant, we're adding a service for this upcoming Sunday.
We sold out.
Maxed out. We're at capacity. Capacity for our 25% rule. So we're adding a 9:30 service this weekend. So 9:30 and 10:30 communion services this weekend at Reliant. And if you're a Reliant member, you should have received an email about that. And I think we'll also put that registration link on the website for this week. We didn't last week because we knew that we were going to fill up, and so we actually did not put that on our website, but we will put that link on the Reliant site this week, so you can RSVP there. I wasn't here at Christ Memorial. I was just at Reliant. But at Reliant, it was we had about 40 in the building. We had 38. It was great. Good fellowship time afterwards. A lot of people stayed and kind of hung out, socially distanced. In terms of the space, like there was plenty of space for people to socially distance when they sat down. But at the same time, it was it still felt full. Like it didn't feel cavernous in there. And so we're excited to open up that second service this weekend at 9:30 as well as 10:30. So hopefully we could welcome about 80, if we fill up both services, about 80 people, which is about what we normally get on a weekend at Reliant. So come on back, Reliant folks. What was it like here at Christ Memorial, Pastor Jeff? You were here for all services.
It was also emotional. As I saw people, there were a lot of tears above, just above the mask. And I think having communion for the first time after 3 months was emotional for all of us. I'd say overall, all of our campuses, all services, we were a little shy of 50% of our average worship attendance on a weekend. So that's pretty solid. My goal in our buildings is that you feel more comfortable in your church building than you do anywhere else except for your home. And so we have taken a lot of precautions. Our protocol are pretty stringent. We've got dividers and traffic flow and tape on the floor, and we're asking people to wear masks. I was very proud of our people that everybody abided by all of that, and there were no complaints. So I think the people who came this past weekend understand that we want to make this space comfortable for everybody, even if you are, as we're saying, you're willing to lick the doorknob. Even if you're that person and you have no fear, you are sacrificing so that other people, like when you wear a mask, you're doing that for a brother or sister who's timid coming back into the building. So again, I want our church building to be more comfortable than the grocery store, your workplace, everywhere except for your home. And so I think we've done that, and I think people responded well to that. We're appreciative of that. So again, we're going to do it again. Really now we have 7 slots between Reliant here, Saturday, Sunday. Again, we're going to stick with the short 35 minute format, focused on communion for the month of June. So that's 2 more weeks. We're reevaluating for July to take another step in terms of a phase in July. So just stay tuned for that. But I think we're grateful that for those who have come back. And again, as Pastor Bobby said, if you're not ready, we have people that may be weeks, months, or a year away from coming back. And we want to continue to minister to you. I talked to some of you today as we had communion, personal communion for individuals who came up today from 1 to 4. We'll do that again next Tuesday, but we're going to do it from 1 to 3. So it's a 2-hour slot, 1 to 3. If you want to come up as an individual or a family unit and you're not ready to be in a crowd, we'll commune you on Tuesday afternoons.
No, I really enjoyed just kind of fellowshipping in the parking lot. A lot of people, I was, maybe not halfway out the parking, but I was a little ways out, and it was just, we're still social distancing and being safe, but it was, it's kind of that old line, which, how, like, you used to go to your, I view it this way, you'd go to your grandpa and say, well, how you doing? Well, it's just good to be seen, and that's how I felt. It was just good to be seen, and kind of, like you guys kind of shared, not like in a selfish way, but it just felt great to be back with the body of Christ and see people that I'd been praying for and thinking about, but I just hadn't seen in 2-3 months. Yeah. And so that was definitely a blessing. And we had awesome weather. I know I had a couple ask, hey, can we, where's the parking lot service today? Because the weather's so nice. And, I just had to kind of tell people too that, we're pre-recording the worship. We're starting with this first phase of communion. I think we'd all love to do a parking lot service every weekend if it was as beautiful as last weekend, but it takes us a little bit of work and time and energy to put that together.
And so it's 100 degrees and
it's
just
about
not
to get hot. It's about to get hot. I don't really have a desire for a parking lot worship in a 100 degree heat. Or 90 degree heat with 90% humidity.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not that we wouldn't want to, but we also can remember planning like Easter and Mother's Day. Is it raining? Is it not raining? I think I got a little wet on Easter walking around in my rain jacket. So we definitely have a heart for that, but not something that's feasible for us to do each week. But definitely excited for, I think, the work. A lot of people were very complimentary just about, I think, the steps we've taken, and really appreciative for the feedback that we've really tried to do everything we can do to make this a safe, like you said, Pastor Jeff, the second most safe place you can really feel. And so hopefully that's the way you guys all felt. And if you're going to join us this weekend, we hope that's the experience that you get to have, as well as participating in the sacrament.
Yeah, Father's Day this Sunday. So if you haven't bought your Father's Day gift, go get a tie right now.
Yeah.
Or a mug, or a dad jokes book.
Or a dad jokes book. Yeah, so shout out Father's Day coming up this weekend. Don't forget, we love dads. And we hope that many of you can join us for worship again in person. Okay, so I said
last thing
earlier,
for tonight, right?
I said earlier that we were going to keep this live event a little bit shorter this evening because of something else coming up later this week. And I'm going to let Pastor Jeff talk about that. But a live event coming up this Thursday at 1 p.m. This Thursday at 1 p.m. What are we doing?
We said it was going to be shorter, and here we just can't.
And we're only at 19 minutes.
Preacher's going to preach.
Preacher's going to preach. Last week
Your time's up. No.
we talked about issues of race, justice, and the gospel in our midst, and we talked about leaning into our relationship with Bethlehem Lutheran Church. And one of the questions that Pastor Gerard and Pastor Schmidtke asked that has just been reverberating in my brain is, when the protests are over and the cameras are gone, who is going to walk with a black life? And that's really their ministry. John Schmidtke, for over 30 years, ministering in North St. Louis, the Hyde Park neighborhood. Now Gerard there. Their ministry just represents all that we want to do to engage ministry, but also an African American context. And so we want to be in this for the long haul. We don't want to put out like a statement or an Instagram post that we think that does everything. We're really in this for the long haul in terms of ministering, in terms of issues of justice and equity. And so we thought we really wanted to have a conversation with Gerard and John Schmidtke, and they're going to be with us 1 o'clock on Thursday to kind of do an interview style conversation. And we're going to do that for you. We want you to kind of tune into that conversation because we think that's a good place to start. We've got lots of work to do in terms of our partnership with them, whether it's mission opportunities. Our Green Park School Board, just last week, we were talking in the school board about diversity opportunities within the school. I met with some teenagers a couple nights ago to talk about their take on it. So these are things that are happening under the surface that they're going to be in for the long haul. And we want you to know that. This isn't going to be a conversation that goes away. But Thursday is a good place for us to start as we talk to really important mission partners that we have with Bethlehem Lutheran Church friends. So 1 o'clock, and help me with, I'm Amish, the tech stuff doesn't get me started. We're going to do it live. Are we making this up?
We're making it up. No,
Okay.
The plan right now is, and there goes Nate. We better catch him.
I told him to wait, so. Yeah.
Is he in?
I told him to stick around and
Oh,
talk
okay.
to him, so.
The plan is this. We're going to do a live event, but we're also going to be recording it. We're going to edit it, make it pretty. Going to give me a little bit of a darker tan. Looking really good. We're going to give Pastor Jeff some muscles.
We'll filter, make it gorgeous.
That's right. No, we're going to record it. We're going to edit it, and then we're going to put it on our YouTube page, our Love Sent YouTube page, and it'll be housed there, so you can go back and watch it anytime. So if you can't watch the live event at 1 o'clock on Thursday, you can go back and watch the discussion that we have. The reason that we want to do both is we do want to give an opportunity for you all to engage, and so that's why we want to do a live event, so you can put in your comments and questions, and we can actually have maybe a little bit of a dialogue together virtually. But then we also want it to be a conversation that kind of lasts for a while, so people can go back and rewatch it and re-engage with it. So we're going to have it both places. That's the plan right now.
Yeah, we're grateful for their time Thursday. Maybe to transition out of that, final item for tonight, our Community Assistance Fund, boom, blew up.
Awesome.
So we had done probably over $50,000 had been collected up until May 24th. May 24th, I announced that we were doing a $20,000 match. We had anonymous donors come in and say, we have $20,000, dollar for dollar match. Within 2 weeks, we exceeded that. Within 2 weeks, so June 7th, we had $24,000. That's $44,000 total. I think some has still continued to trickle in. The bottom line, we have exceeded $100,000 in 3 months of your generosity, people giving to meet an immediate need from COVID, from our neighbors, our mission partners, And we're going to continue to share stories of that impact, whether it's people around in our church, in our community, or our mission partners, because you need to know that money, what the funds that you gave, had a direct impact on somebody. And so thank you for that. Shout out to our people. And even people outside of our church heard about it, or watched video worship and heard about it, not members of our church, and they contributed. There was a $2,000 check from somebody not even a member of our church who is watching video worship and says, I want to be in on that. And so praise God for the people and their generosity.
Yeah, thank you. God is good. God is great. We appreciate it. Some of that, quite a bit of that has gone to assist with Bethlehem Lutheran, our sister congregation that has been hit really hard with this. Everything that's been going on, it has been like micro focused on them. They've been hit hard with the COVID pandemic, and then of course with the civil unrest right now. Their people are feeling the effects and the pain with that as well. And so thank you for your generosity and allowing us to be able to support them in these really difficult and challenging times. And we hope that you can join us for the conversation that we have with Pastor Gerard and Pastor Schmicke on Thursday at 1 o'clock.
Amen.
Well, great. Well, that wraps us up for this evening, as in our attempt to keep this a couple minutes shorter than the other weeks. And so hopefully you'll be able to join us on Thursday. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll be back also next Tuesday, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, sure.
Next Tuesday.
Okay.
I think
Is that the plan?
Pastor Paul will be back.
I was going to say Pastor Paul will be back.
we got to
right?
get Vicar Micah back in the game here too.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we'll take a Tuesday night off, Pastor Bobby. We'll let those guys, the young bucks, come
Sounds
in.
good to me. Ange, heat up dinner. I'm coming home.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
That was dumb.
Wow.
So bad. All right. Bye.
Yep. Have a good night. We'll see you. Thanks for watching.
That was a great way to